Thanks for joining us on this edition of National Focus. I'm Kerdisha, St. Louis. Coming up, Prime Minister Roosevelt Skerrit officially sworn in Tuesday. December 10th is World Human Rights Day, and the region meets in Dominica to discuss the management of the citrus greening disease. Stay tuned for details of these and other stories after this.
If you can believe this,
come by my house and let me show you some movies.
why can't you believe this? Some mothers don't believe their own children when they say they've been sexually abused, and they don't report it. Remember, if anyone asks to see or touch their private parts, touches them inappropriately, shows them or forces them to touch one's private parts, has sex with them, shows them pornographic material, or deliberately lets them hear or see the act of sex, then it is sexual abuse. Believe your child and report the sexual abuse. For more information about child abuse, contact these agencies. This message brought to you by UNICEF and this station.
Let's have some fun, eh?
I'm not ready for your kind of fun yet.
But everybody else is doing it.
But I'm not everybody else. I'm me, and I want to do well in school.
Well, you definitely get an A for attitude.
I plan to get an A in life, and then I'll think of your kind of fun.
So what am I to do in the meantime?
You'll survive.
Say no when you're not ready. Use condoms when you are.
Thanks for staying with us. Honorable Prime Minister Roosevelt Skerrit will head the newly elected DLP government for the next 5 years. The Dominica leader took his oath of office during a ceremony at the State House on Tuesday.
I, Roosevelt Skerrit, do swear that I will faithfully execute the office of Prime Minister.
Do swear that I will faithfully execute the office of Prime Minister.
Without fear or favor.
Without fear or favor.
Affection or ill will.
Affection or ill will.
And that in the execution of the functions of the office.
And that in the execution of the functions of that office.
I will honor, uphold, and preserve the Constitution of the Commonwealth of Dominica.
I will honor and uphold and preserve the Constitution of the Commonwealth of Dominica.
So help me God.
So help me God.
I, Roosevelt Skerrit, do swear that I will faithfully bear true allegiance to the Commonwealth of Dominica.
Do swear that I will faithfully bear true allegiance to the Commonwealth of Dominica.
So help me God.
So help me God.
I, Roosevelt Skerrit, being called upon to exercise the functions of Prime Minister in the Commonwealth of Dominica.
Being called upon to exercise the functions of Prime Minister of the Commonwealth of Dominica.
Do swear.
Do swear.
That I will not directly or indirectly.
That I will not directly or indirectly.
Reveal the business or proceedings of the Cabinet.
Reveal the business or proceedings of the Cabinet.
Or the nature or contents of any documents.
Or the nature or contents of any documents.
Communicated to me in my capacity as Prime Minister.
Communicated to me in my capacity as Prime Minister.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Tuesday's ceremony was held just one day after Monday's general elections, which was won by the Dominica Labour Party.
I would want to believe that the era of parliament boycotts and walkouts is over. I would want to believe that in the debates of Parliament, support will be given where support is deserving, and constructive criticism will be leveled when merited. As I said several times during the just ended campaign, there is one Dominica. The voters have spoken and the campaign has ended. We find ourselves still in the throes of a global economic recession. For Dominica to even have a chance of surmounting this challenge, we need to think country at all times. We need, as parliamentarians in this new dispensation, to consider our every action and utterance. Parliamentarians are persons with influence, and my one request of all new parliamentarians, on both sides of the parliament, is to use that influence to the benefit and blessing of Dominica.
The Honorable Prime Minister says his new government is committed to fulfill promises made to Dominicans.
The infrastructural projects to which we alluded shall commence and continue apace throughout the next 5 years. The human resource development strategies alluded in our various publications shall also be prioritized. We want to make sure that Dominica remains on the cutting edge of education and technology development. So, ladies and gentlemen, an exciting 5 years awaits. We are ready as a new government to hit the road running. The new government will be sworn in on Saturday evening, and ministers shall take to their offices on Monday morning to commence work on behalf of the people of this beautiful country, Dominica.
Leader of the Dominica Labour Party, newly sworn in Honorable Prime Minister Roosevelt Skerrit, has told Dominicans that in his government's new term that they can expect a high level of representation from parliamentary representatives. Honorable Skerrit was speaking to thousands in Portsmouth on polling night after it was announced that 15 seats were taken by the DLP candidates. He said he will ensure that they perform the task for which they have been elected.
I do not like the fact that they come to you and ask you for a vote, and you come out every night, every day to support them. And they fail to make themselves available to you to hear what you say to them.
The Dominica leader told constituents that their parliamentary representatives are expected to work on their behalf. The Prime Minister stressed that all are equal and deserve to be treated with respect.
At the end of the day, we are all equal. I am no greater than you. And therefore no power up on a minister is bigger than you, or better than you, or more important than you.
Honorable Skerrit assured that all commitments made in the previous term will be honored in this new term.
I give you the commitment that the many unfulfilled personal promises which were made by Labour shall be fulfilled by Labour in this next term. So I really want to assure you of those things. For me, I am very humble for the tremendous show of confidence that you have placed in me as your leader. I said to you, I will never forget you, the people of Dominica, and the Labour Party supporters. I want to thank all of you who went out to vote and who voted for Labour. I want to thank all of you who worked in the campaigns at the respective constituency levels.
A regional workshop to discuss the management of the Hong Long Bing, or HLB, commonly known as the citrus greening disease, got underway in Dominica on Wednesday. The workshop, hosted by the Ministry of Agriculture and Forestry in collaboration with the Food and Agriculture Organization (FAO) and the United Nations, will run from December 10th to 12th. Vigilanti Lopez, Plant Protection and Production Officer in FAO Barbados, says the FAO is here to share their experiences and successes as it relates to the disease. She says the workshop is an opportunity for the FAO to garner information on how countries in the region are dealing with the problem. problem. Harold Geese, permanent secretary in the Ministry of Agriculture, says citrus is a major crop in the country, and the government of Dominica, through the Ministry of Agriculture, has invested close to $15 million between 2007 and 2013 to ensure the survival of the industry. He says the last survey conducted revealed that there are 1,139 citrus farmers on the island. However, due to various diseases affecting citrus crops, the production capacity of the industry has declined. Geese says the citrus greening disease in particular has caused havoc, but the government of Dominica remains committed to the growing citrus industry.
This disease has caused severe hardship to citrus farmers as they have watched helplessly at their dying citrus trees with no means of being able to save their crop and to sustain their livelihoods. However, the Ministry of Agriculture remains committed to the development of the citrus industry. Recently, fiscal incentives have facilitated investments in improving the technical capabilities of the Division of Agriculture in the area of infrastructural development to include construction of screen houses, including a warm and cold room for bio-indexing for citrus pests, potting sheds, purchase of modern laboratory equipment, construction of a new shoot tip grafting laboratory and facility, and security fencing for the citrus certification facility.
The permanent secretary set his expectations of the workshop.
The hosting of this workshop in Dominica is very timely. It is hoped that new information, best practices observed elsewhere, could be shared with us here in Dominica to bring this HLB disease under control and to reduce losses to local and regional farmers. This disease has put the future of the citrus industry in Dominica under severe threat, and the livelihoods of hundreds of small farmers in jeopardy. There is an urgent need for interventions to sustain small farmer income, to safeguard national food and nutrition security.
During the three-day workshop, the national action plans of 5 countries, namely Antigua and Barbuda, Bahamas, Barbados, St. Kitts and Nevis, and St. Vincent and the Grenadines, will be reviewed. Grenada, St. Lucia, Suriname, and Trinidad and Tobago and Dominica will develop and renew new action plans, all this with a view to developing a national policy for the management of the disease. The Permanent Secretary says Dominica's national policy should contain the following:
a sustainable citrus industry in Dominica, maintain farmers' continued access to export markets, to develop legislation to safeguard the citrus industry from emerging threats, and for safeguarding against a variety of pests and diseases.
Citrus greening is one of the most serious and devastating of all diseases affecting citrus. Its high socio-economic impact is linked to the fact that all species of citrus are affected and there is no known cure. GIS will bring you more from this workshop in a subsequent newscast. And today, December 10th, was Human Rights Day. This is a day to celebrate the rights entitled to each person just because they're human. Human Rights 365 is the theme of Human Rights Day 2014, the 66th anniversary of the signing of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. The Universal Declaration of Human Rights, which was adopted by the UN General Assembly on December 10, 1948, was the result of the experience of the Second World War. World War II was the most widespread war in history and directly involved more than 100 million people from over 30 countries and was marked by mass deaths of civilians, including the Holocaust and the strategic bombing of industrial and population centers. It resulted in an estimated 50 million to 85 million fatalities. These made World War II the deadliest conflict in human history. With the end of that war and the creation of the United Nations, the international community vowed never again to allow atrocities like those of that conflict happen again. Human Rights 365, this year's theme, reminds us that every day is Human Rights Day, and that according to the Secretary General Ban Ki-moon, human rights are for all of us, all the time. Whoever we are and wherever we're from, no matter our class, our opinions, or sexual orientation. The Universal Declaration of Human Rights comprises 30 articles governing how humans ought to be treated. The declaration has over time been accepted as a contract between governments and their peoples for their fundamental human rights and freedoms to be respected everywhere around the world without any distinction. Today, the UN Human Rights Office is stressing that the promotion of everyone's inalienable rights every day and everywhere should no longer be an ideal but become a reality. And before we leave, here's one announcement. The government of the Commonwealth of Dominica has received financing from the Global Environment Facility to the United Nations Environment Programme to support the preparation of Dominica's third National Communications to the United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change, UNFCCC. Part of this funding is to be utilized to hire national consultants to undertake technical studies and draft the national report. The government of Dominica is seeking expressions of interest from suitably qualified national consultants who have at least 5 years' experience in the following areas: greenhouse gas inventory from energy, transportation, solid waste and industrial processes, inventory of carbon sinks forests, inventory of carbon sinks agriculture, climate change mitigation including renewable energy, energy efficiency and energy conservation, mainstreaming climate change into national development planning, training, public education outreach on climate change, systematic observation systems for climate change including hydrometeorological systems. Work on this project will commence on January 2015 and will be completed by May 2016. Successful applicants will be expected to start work on or before February 2, 2015. Any persons interested in being considered for any of the above positions are requested to submit their current curriculum vitae and letter of interest to the following: Director, Environmental Coordinating Unit, Roseau Fisheries Complex, Dame Eugenia Charles Boulevard, Roseau, Commonwealth of Dominica. Telephone number 266-5256, fax 448-4577, email ecu@dominica.gov.dm. Submissions can be submitted electronically or in writing to the above addresses and must be received no later than Wednesday, January 7th, 2015 at 4 p.m. Expressions of interest received after this date will not be considered. Also, the Dominica Government Band will be undertaking its annual Christmas tour as following: Thursday, December 11th, 2014, Goodwill Secondary School, 8:30 a.m., Portsmouth, 7 p.m. Sunday, December 14th, 2014, Trafalgar, 3 p.m., Giodel, 6 p.m. Sunday, December 21st, 2014, State Prison, 1 p.m., Dominica Infirmary, 3 p.m., Princess Margaret Hospital, 6 p.m. The Christmas musical in Roseau will take place on Wednesday, December 7th, 2014 in Peebles Park, Victoria Street at 7:30 p.m. Everyone is invited to the village and town events to enjoy the musical renditions and to participate in the carol singing. The band looks forward to bringing Christmas cheer to all.
Allô tout le monde, bienvenue à cette nouvelle en créole. Non, moi, c'est McPherson St.Louis. Premièrement, Premier ministre Honorable Roosevelt Skerrit sémenté pour l'office qu'on chef pays là. Cérémonie pour te sémenter Premier ministre Skerrit, ça prend place en State House mardi. Honorable Skerrit qui travaille en position celle-là pour la 4e fois. Quand même si l'on parole est délivré en cérémonie là, Premier ministre Skerrit dit qu'il accepte le résultat élection là et puis humilité. Il dit qu'il continue à courir pays en l'intérêt peuple à Dominique. Les partis Dominique tapent 15 sites pendant UWP tapent 6. Quand même, Premier ministre Skerrit fait parole, qui Dominique tient parler et puis il a expecté une plus grosse opposition en parlement. Il dit en politique Kawaïb, c'est un parti qui travaille bien, ça, oui, électé pour 4 termes, et puis les partis Dominique fait histoire. Premier ministre a aussi voulu invitation par opposition, brancher et puis gouvernement pour ça développer pays là. En autre nouvelle, ça fait qu'à concerner Free Movement en pays OECS, ça c'est moun peut voyager sans peste problème, ça a marché bien. Parole ça là sorti hon ambassadeur OECS et puis CARICOM, His Excellency Félix Grégoire.
Economic Union là, tenir bite qui était important, ça c'est free movement of persons, ça c'est pour moun aller en pays OECS, avec pas ni pièce problème, pièce hassle. Nous savons aussi que des pays qui étaient derrière dans ça nous sommes d'accord pour faire, des pays. Mais GIS Dominica, Honorable Skerrit, Prime Minister Skerrit, even Chairman OECS, Honorable Skerrit, là, il parlait de ces meetings là à Saint-Vincent, en GIS. Il dit qu'il voulait tous ces pays qui peuvent faire ça, ils sont supposés faire pour faire. Et après ça, en septembre, nous avons cette lycée passé tout ça a été nous passé. Semaine passée, nous avons Antigua fait dernier bit Antigua pour faire, il fait ça c'est pour moun en OECS pas besoin work permit pour travailler Antigua avec Barbuda, Antigua and Barbuda.
En autre nouvelle, président State College Dominic Dr. Donald Peters qui a fait parole qui a un plan pour brancher et puis plusieurs universités à de manière avancée éducation technologie en Dominique. Sinon, Dr. Peters, il a gardé fashion design et puis réparation instrument musique. Et de ces instruments là, il a servi, ça déjà pour tuer. Peters aussi fait parole qui certificat il a bamon, ça bien accepté l'autre pays. Président Peters aussi dit, il a bien avancé, là il a venu pour programme 9. Il y a l'autre bagage State College Dominic qui en primatin, c'est ça fait tourisme, ça fait l'État qui aussi recevoir attention l'année prochaine. Et puis finalement, le département quarantine qui a créé à ce public là pour taper en licence avant de mener produit en Dominique pour saison Noël. Parole ça là sorti hors chef département là, M. Ryan Ansem.
Toujours cas des monde, yo les mener ti ham yo, ti appui yo avec grip yo, avec nous ni on travaille pour faire, c'est pour protéger pays à hors de maladie avec Tibet qui a cause problème. So nous cas des monde pour travailler avec nous, bonnet, venir sous le sabot les mener hamou, ti turkey ou bagayo, venir qui est nous en plan quarantine avec un veterinary division là pour ça mener ces bagailles ça on pour taper on import permit pour mener ces bagailles ça on so nous cas des monde avant ou gain ticket pour venir Dominique nous receiver au bon mais pour avoid peer harassment à l'aéroport là nous avons taper premier avant ou mener plan bête avec toutes ces bagailles ça on à Dominique c'est important pour nous faire ça.
Messieurs mesdames, ça c'est tout pour nouvelle créole pour à présent. Non moins c'est McPherson St.Louis. Au revoir.
Coming up, more money-saving tips for Christmas.
Dominica is blessed with an abundance of water, but getting it to your home is an expensive venture. You have a responsibility to conserve water, to use it wisely. Remember the old adage, you never miss the water till the well runs dry. Think water, think life.
Tip 1. Save on Christmas decor by waiting to buy. Stores have incredible sales every year for decorations when you buy close to the holiday or even better, after the holiday. You could fill your house with beautiful holiday decorations every year for a small fraction of what they originally cost. Tip 2. Save used wrapping paper all through the year. Just roll them back onto the paper tube and place a small piece of Scotch tape on the edge to hold in place. These work really great for small gifts where previously folded lines won't even show. And that's all for this edition of National Focus. We always welcome your suggestions and comments. Drop us an email at gis@dominica.gov.dm or visit our website news.gov.dm. Like our Facebook page, facebook.com/GIS News Dominica, and follow us on Twitter at GIS Dominica. You can also catch up on past National Focus newscasts on our GIS Dominica YouTube channel. From all of us here on the GIS News production team, I'm Kerdisha St. Louis. Thanks for watching.